as I was sharing in our lovely short, this lovely new moon gives those who are part of the 5D collective, the human love narrative, the whole 3-year-old heart, an individual who has differentiation of the self capacity, and therefore they can organically work through their thoughts and emotions, or they're organically working through it, and they also have support, if need be, from a lovely, lovely therapist in the good therapist community. So the ones who know that your behavior is not pathologized. It is to share with you the implicit memory and all that is part of what you would not know and don't know unless you are a person who's now knowledgeable about it. I am. So what I'm trying to get to is the whole 3-year-old heart is every person who has either a differentiated self automatically from their upbringing, because some of us have secure attachment and differentiation of self, human love narrative, my open-hearted 3-year-old consistently here. So there's no bilateral non-integration. There is the ability to, again, regulate your own nervous system because of meta-awareness, that third eye for the 5D mystic. And those who move into the enlightenment soul age group, they also have this amazing exploration with a bunch of different subject matters. We're not going to get into that one right now, but what I was trying to get to is the people who need support, they're still tuning in to personal development material because they have also the accompaniment of the good therapists who share your whole, your true self. And so being yourself is not about you forgetting. No, actually it's about understanding your behaviors have not only implicit memory, explicit memory. And so let's expand. If you have a window of tolerance, that window of tolerance get you to a window of welcome. I get to work with the window of welcome. Obviously, if there's a window of tolerance, we work with that too, but it would be something that you're consciously aware of and or that I get to share with you. Hey, this is called a window of tolerance. There's a shame cycle, inner critic, outer critic, activities, drugs, alcohol, sex, food, also workaholism, anything. Basically, if I'm a good observer, because I care about your inner well-being, which I do personally, inspiring human potential, again, so to be yourself is where the inner child of you is open-hearted and spontaneous only when you get here, which is why the beloved blade, your mind, but your mind, which is, by the way, for my lovely mystics, your divine masculine, your body is your divine feminine. The way that I give you the gist for, again, those who are mystics with clairs and or you just are into the 5D ascension community, breaking it down to humanly speaking, enlightenment the human way, the right mode, all the sensations would be the feminine. That's how not the divine feminine, your body. The masculine, the left mode, chit chatter breaks things down. In fact, when they're not working together, the person will usually be listening with the left mode, trying to break things down mathematically, digitally. No. Quiet, left. Sensations, quiet, and that's what a whole 3-year-old heart. So like when somebody's talking to me, I'm going to be present. Means that me, Maria, don't have anything coming up from my nervous system because I don't have trauma memory also lingering in my lovely brain. Patrick McNamara knows all about how REM and religious self, so dreams, our astral travel, mystics, again, there's explanations. There's also explanations for why there's no demon that possesses a person, but that mind's eye is very important, and actually the fear receptor that works wonky when those nightmares come up is not helping. So the brain's trauma memory, your brain actually tries to heal itself like the body's trying to move to your restorative embodied self. So every body's human nature, according to the most recent somatics, attachment, the good, again, trauma experts that I get to learn from because I'm attachment informed. Trauma informed mysticism is something that came prior and then that added, and now I can explain when we have new moon, stuff comes up. When we have astrological events, stuff comes up. I get to say to the people who are working with that stuff, because we're not throwing it, so pachas of the world, or Cusco's with the pacha, it's called being a functional adult. There's no need to project. That's the adaptive child, maladaptive. In fact, you are using behavior that comes from your upbringing. Your karma is actually your childhood stuff. When you're an adolescent, you're going to add more stuff, and if you don't choose to lead with your own value, body, heart, body, energy, physical, mental, which you can learn all you want, but it's basically giving a pacha handshake. So like pacha, when Cusco went and said, I'm making fun of you because I was actually going to have you killed, I was going to do all this stuff, pacha still says, nope, I'm going to take you home. And at the end of this Emperor's New Groove, that's the story I'm using right now, we see pacha and Cusco, again Cusco, lying through his teeth, And here's where, as the lovely good trauma experts explain, we don't want to pathologize behaviors. Every life, every person can learn to get to what their body is already trying to get them home to, the restorative embodied self, and the brain healing trauma memory, so the trauma that lingers, which is why when they meet those of us who are pachas, the 5D unconsciously loving, compassionate, kind, integrated brain, which a lot of people say, oh, that doesn't exist. The human suffering love people, that is. They, in fact, will talk all about suspicion when it comes to love, kindness, what can I say? I was recently watching one. I was like, okay, that's a great educational, way to make exaggeration. But the part of what people don't believe in, it's too good to be true. Those sentences, they're really cliche. So long story short, for those who don't live cliche sentences, we do not say to anyone, you are not capable of being a pacha, because we know otherwise. Your nature's love, my nature's love. And so on a new moon for the 5D collective, we always, not just sometimes, ALWAYS, always make the most of every moment. You know why? So, person who, again, is handling their left and right mode. So the chit-chatter doesn't make up an inner critic story or an outer critic. We don't do Cusco stuff. We don't do the squirrel stuff. We don't do Isma stuff or Kronk or Ursula from The Little Mermaid. For those who think they're anointed and special, which is really, really, they didn't hear Christ. They didn't hear the word. I mean, we know about the ancient people. That's a different story altogether. It's like history. Go get a history book. You're going to figure out. Get a political science book. You're going to figure stuff out in a very grounded way of, okay, 3D vibration, totally get it. 4D vibration, totally get it. 3D, ancient. 4D, we're mystics. We're special. Some of us, we're mystics. We're not special. It's called Claire's neuroscience community, actually has a lot of intel on that. I just haven't been able to educate myself as much, but I already know with Patrick McNamara, thank you so much, the religious self and soul reorganization, which is why we have people that are saying that yoga brings a demon out of you when it doesn't. It's called trauma memory and charges. If only they knew of Peter Levine, if only they would get actual, no, some of these people, they are educated, but they apparently don't believe or hear very well. So trauma memory, they say, is stored inside of our bodies. But, when I say that to people, they start looking it up. I'm like, okay, you're not going to find it like that. You need to actually first learn it, but you're not going to believe in the educators. So I think you might want to just stick to 3D, 4D, human suffering love narrative, it's called. And for that, they have a buttload of things to keep you busy with. I have what is love to keep you busy with. So let's get back to our beloved blades, which are used not in any way, shape, or form by the left mode, not even close. Now, in fact, our mature feminine and our mature masculine within you, which is why we do not, 5D mystics and any mystic that is a mystic will inform you of the beautiful journey of the twin flame and twin flames. What trends, again, human suffering. That's why Stephen Porges and his wife didn't write a book on how love cannot actually take place if you're not safe to be together as yourselves. If your 3-year-old can't come up and my 3-year-old can't come up, we're not going to be actually in this thing called love, because we're going to not want to be together. Okay, so no saga for the people who are handling with meta-awareness. So their prefrontal cortex, their third eye, those are the pachas of this lovely world, the 5D collective. We don't have a saga with human beings that are twin flame or twin flames. We have grown-up conversations from our pacha mouths. They can be pachas, Cuscos, all of it. They do them, we do us. That's why it's called a healthy self-worth human being. It's because I'm not superior in fear, and that's why the 3-year-olds can have fun. We have open-hearted fun, and we don't wear boxing gloves, even though boxing is interesting as a sport, but we don't actually keep note on people, because if you're going to stab me behind the back, really what you're doing is unresolved trauma. I'm going to say, wow, that's so sad. They need a good therapist, or maybe they won't get one, but I know that they're going to go hang out with other people or not. I mean, again, we don't make a big deal out of suffering. We actually feel bad, and we're like, we can talk about it, and that's about it, because, trust is about expanding consciousness. Plus, once you have shown your true colors when stressed, we now know how to tend to your 3-year-old and to help you understand it's no need to get like this. We all can be loving and dubby together. So relationships are growing right now for us, the 5D collective. New moon,